everybody to day 4 of Salad Week here on Pure Jeevan. Salad Dressing Week, I'm sorry. So yesterday we had our Thanksgiving dressing. Today we're going to change things up a little bit with a creamy garlic dressing. So how are we going to make that? Well, here's what we're going to do. I've prepped the ingredients, of course, because all good cooking shows do that. And this is a good cooking show. We're going to start with I have a third cup here. We're going to start with a third cup because that's what I have. You can see how closely I watched this when we're making this recipe. We're going to start with a third cup of Brazil nuts, raw organic Brazil nuts, which you can purchase at naturalzing.com, tinyurl.com/naturalzing. Anyway, a third cup of raw organic Brazil nuts, that goes in there. Now, this is a garlic dressing, so we want garlic to be the flavor. This is a pretty large clove of garlic, so if you have small cloves, maybe put in 2. I don't know how big this is. It's probably about a half teaspoon of pure garlic, maybe a little more. Anyway, so you want a big clove of garlic in here. Now we're going to want is some lemon juice. So I cut it up in about half a lemon. Usually when we squeeze half a lemon, for the ones we get around here, it's usually about a tablespoon. So just to show you, let me just to make good on my word here. I'll show you how much I get out of here. Now some of this is spilled over, as you can see. But yeah, it's pretty much exactly a tablespoon. So if you live in one of these, tropical states where the lemons are as big as softballs, obviously you need to use less. So a tablespoon of lemon juice. Now I have filled a half cup of water here, but we're not going to use the whole half cup. I just want to give it some juice to blend with, some water to blend with. So this is kind of really just a holder for me. But I'm going to put about a quarter cup or so, maybe a little less, of water in to start blending this. And also some salt. Almost forgot my salt. So I'm just going to kind of salt it to taste. We use pink crystal Himalayan salt. I like a decent amount of salt in our dressings, so I put a liberal amount in. So now I'm just going to process this. Now when you're processing and you're doing small batch like this, a lot of times you do have to open up the processor, scrape down the sides. You guys know the drill, right? And then do it again so that it gets a creamy consistency. Now with this food processor, which is probably similar to a lot of other ones out there, you can leave the on switch on. And when you open it up, it automatically turns it off. Let's say you don't put your hand in and chop it off, which would taste bad. So keep blending. And this is starting to look like a nice kind of creamy Italian dressing, which is sort of what we're going after here. I'll blend a little more. Okay. Now for the final step in this dressing, I want to have it be a peppery kind of dressing. So what we have here is a blend of peppercorns. And when I say blend, what's neat about this particular blend, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it in the video, but there are different colored peppercorns here. There's red, there's white, there's black, and there's some green ones. So I want to put those in last because we don't want to completely pulverize them. But we want them to, color up the dish a little bit. You can hear them going. Let's see how that looks. A little more. I'm going to scrape it down one more time and do it real quick. I'll edit this part out maybe. Sometimes in a small batch like this, it's hard to get the peppercorns to break up. So I guess what I probably should have done would be maybe use a coffee grinder or a spice grinder, whatever you have. Grind them up a little bit first before we put them in here for the final processing. But it's pretty good. So let me just real quickly finish it off. Okay. Now I'll just give her a quick sample, make sure we're doing what we want to be here. Pretty tasty. A little heavy on the salt, but it's a tasty dressing. I'm going to put it on pause for 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I was just doing a little careful taste testing there. I think another clove of garlic. Now I had cut up 2 to begin with, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw the second one in. And I'm just going to put a little more garlic in. So that 1 large clove recommendation wasn't enough. Let's do a little more. Now, let's see what this garlic. Now we have garlic dressing. Yeah, it's good. So you really need to experiment with your local garlic, because some garlics are more pronounced than others in terms of their garlicosity. So you definitely want to check that out. But what I'll do is I'm just going to put it on pause, scrape it into a bowl, and I'll show a close-up of what it looks like when it's finished. Because I made a very small batch, because during this week of making these dressings, they're really only made for myself, Wendy, and our daughter. And what I'm noticing is we're making enough for like 5 people, or 6 people, so it's just too much. So I tried to make a small batch here. So this would be for really about 2 people. So if you're going to serve more people, then just double everything you're going to see in the blog. So go to the blog post, and you'll get the official recipe to serve 2, and then just deal with it from there. So I'll be right back showing the picture, and then we'll be done. Okay, so there you can see the creamy Italian, the creamy garlic dressing. We didn't call it a creamy Italian dressing, it's really called it a creamy garlic dressing. So if you wanted to make it a creamy Italian, you would probably do something a little similar. Maybe add a little more liquid, a little more water, and a little more Italian spices, you know, your oregano and your sage and your so forth. But for now, creamy garlic, just plain creamy garlic. So we'll see you tomorrow for the thrilling conclusion. Salad dressing week on Pure Jeevan. See you guys.